Professor Prince hailed Brexit as a chance to return Britain's focus to the Anglosphere of the Commonwealth nations instead of the collapsing European institutions. The historian claimed his latest research suggested the European Union is becoming a declining power, reaching the end of its lifespan. He told BBC Radio 4's Today programme, "The main geopolitical context for Brexit is that the Anglosphere, and within that for Britain the Commonwealth members, are the rising powers in the world, and the EU is in fact a declining power. We could agree that the Anglosphere is there and it never really went away." Getty, Cobber Stiff-tongued Brexit News. Professor Gwithian Prince said Britain is doubly lucky to leave the EU. Professor Prince argued that recent statements made by Alexander Downer, the departing Australian High Commissioner, suggest Britain will be welcome to play a larger role within the Commonwealth nations after Brexit. Speaking earlier this month, Mr. Downer urged the United Kingdom to leave the EU customs union to avoid becoming irrelevant on the world stage and seek instead to strengthen ties with Australia. Professor Prince continued, "Listen to Alexander Downer, the departing Australia High Commissioner, whose father was the High Commissioner when we kicked the Australians in the teeth 40-odd years ago, pointing out that the prodigal is going to be welcome back. Britain is doubly lucky because we are leaving the EU at the time it is moving into the zone of the risk of collapse, and we are returning to a rising Anglosphere. UK is doubly lucky because we are leaving the EU as it moves into the zone of the risk of collapse." Professor Gwithian Prince, writing on the Cambridge-based website Briefings for Brexit, Professor Prince suggested the European empire is setting towards its last days and will soon collapse. He wrote, "The EU looks like an empire. It walks like an empire. It certainly talks like an empire. Listen to Mr. Tusk. It treats its subjects like an empire." The former Commission President Mr. Barroso said that it was an empire. And empires collapse. Following the Brexit blow, EU Commissioner Jean-Claude Juncker announced sweeping plans for further integration in an attempt to rally the support of the remaining EU member states, but his proposals have met with differing degrees of support. Slovakia, alongside Hungary, the Czech Republic and Poland, known together as the Visegrad Four, have clashed with the EU in recent months, accusing the bloc of failing to treat member states equally and demanding more control for national governments. They have raised concerns over Brussels' plans to bring in pan-European MEPs after Brexit, saying it would be better to boost democratic control by national parliaments.
Thanks you for watching. Please subscribe News to You channel. Goodbye and see you again.